Hello and welcome back to episode 76. Yes, you've put up with us for 76 weeks of the Irish Mag Show, which is brought to you by the Irish Mags NUFC Supporters Group. My name is Alan and I'm not Paul, our usual wonderful host Paul. We decided to give him a bit of a break. So he's off sunning himself somewhere nice and sunny and recharging himself for what is going to be a chaotic summer ahead. So I'll be your host today, and because of that, I'm not joined by myself, which would be incredibly impressive for me to do, but I am joined by the wonderful Crisho and Chairman Tev, who's been annoying me to make sure that I don't go absolutely bananas. Before we get into the madness, I want to just say, so the Irish Mags are proudly sponsored by Flagman Ireland. Flagman Ireland specialise in quality digitally printed personalised flags, bunting, tablecloth, table flags and hand wavers. Their online store also stocks and sells a wide range of international and domestic flags, including our heavy woven government standard Irish tricolour in various sizes and finishes. Flagman Ireland send products all over the world. For any queries whatsoever that you have, head on over to www.flagmanireland.ie and you can even see our wonderful Irish Mag flags on sale over there as well. So thank you. Big help from Flagman Ireland there. So there's no time at present.
Yeah.
I'll crack on. How are we, lads? Get into it. How are we?
Good. Yeah. I mean, we had a fantastic time at the end of season party last week. And I know we'll get into it, but obviously I didn't win any quiz. I didn't win any jerseys. I didn't win anything at all.
No. Shock horror.
I mean, I said that Czech Teode played for Burundi, so I really wasn't going to do well, But after the disappointment, and my namesake scoring a goal for Arsenal, I kind of got over it and had an all right week. It's been relatively sunny. Tev, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, a bit nervous for Sunday, but as I say, what will be, So at the end of the day, at the end of the season, it's 38 games. It's not down to one game, but yeah, no, good. The end of the season party was good. I was surprised that you thought Teote was for Burundi, but if you had a worse take last week, you would have got it, I tell you. All good.
He's a disaster. We've had to put up with him for so long. It's ridiculous. I knew he was going to come last in the quiz, and he did. Shock horror. So, before we go into what happened at our end of season party and go through the Arsenal game, we didn't have a podcast last week, and that is because myself and Paul were on holidays, and Paul is still on his holidays, but I've come back. So we'll quickly run through what happened in the Chelsea game. So basically, lads, what happened in the Chelsea
game? We started well. We got a goal. We looked well. I think the first half was very good. I think everyone can agree that we were creating chances. We took a chance. And then when they went down to 10 men, I think we found it very, very difficult. I think Maresca changed things, and it was like trying to get through a brick wall. And the second half, I think Chelsea actually played quite well. And they kind of held us to really nothing. But look, those are the kind of games again that we've talked over the last couple of years where we might have got a draw there or lost or something catastrophic would have happened. But no, we're professional, steady. We know what Eddie wants, and we went 2-0, and I was very pleased. I thought we played, and the crowd were magnificent. They gave us an extra bump when we were on the ropes a little. Yeah, I was happy with the 2-0. Very happy.
Yeah. Tev, Crisho brought it up a little bit there. What did you think of the red card?
Yeah, it was silly, very, very silly from Jackson. When you look at somebody and then elbow them, I think, how do you not think you're going to get a red card? So, yeah, very silly from Jackson. But, yeah, it was a very feisty game. There was a few challenges going in. There was a few kind of players going at it during the game. But, that was very stupid from Jackson. But, yeah, as Crisho said, first half was brilliant. Second half dropped off. But if you look at our home record, we still got 3 points, no injuries. It helps, and especially it was a 6-pointer with Chelsea right on their heels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, it just really quickly, and I know all our Irish Mags fans think this too, right? I'm very concerned about Botman in a sense, and I know he's an athletic specimen, God bless him, but it's just that I've got an awful feeling he doesn't look as built as a centre back would be, and he's going to get an awful clatter like next season from some of the strikers that are playing in our competitors. Like, I know that was an elbow directly to his bloody cheekbone, but he could have taken his bloody head off. But I'm just really, I think we should just wrap him in bubble wrap every week and just make sure he's okay to play the 90 minutes, because obviously he's a Rolls Royce defender. But I just I'm really concerned like that we need to keep an eye on this guy. And please tell me, both of you, that he's not going to be like a bloody Mac Target or something where he's injured for like 18 months all the time, or every 3 games, or maybe a Callum Wilson injured all the bloody time. I hope not.
No.
Really.
He won't. Botman's problem is he had a bad knee injury that wasn't looked after the first time. He had a second knee injury that he was kind of rushed back from, and he has been asked to come in and play in the fastest league in the world when he's probably only about 70% fit, and you're looking at him going, he's looking a bit rusty, he's looking a bit raw. Come here. Full preseason under Eddie next year, he will be absolutely outstanding for us.
100%. 100%. Especially as well when we're looking for another centre back as well. It's a team game at the end of the day. The reason why you're probably afraid because it's either Botman or nobody. But at least then when we get a centre back, we can rotate. So it's not too bad. I think he'll be grand.
Okay,
that's it. And just to round off on the Chelsea game, it was absolutely brilliant to see our Bruno absolutely battled the life out of Enzo Fernandez. He had him on the ropes. Enzo looked like he was going to be sent off there towards the end and everything. He was that bad. It was absolutely fantastic. But that's our Bruno, the best wind-up wrench in the league.
It's like as if Enzo had a crank on his back and Bruno was just whining it all game. Like that.
Argentina versus Brazil. It's that rivalry,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
the good result. The Chelsea game out of the way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lads, we'll have to talk about the Arsenal game, which come here. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it first, because I don't think we played as bad as it was made out to be. I think we should have been a goal or 2 up at halftime, but we didn't take our chances. If you want to hear a damning stat, we've played 4 games without Alexander Isak this season. We've lost 2, drawn 2, and scored 1 goal without Alexander Isak playing for us. We need that man, big style.
Yeah.
He's a massive, massive, massive loss for us. We just looked so toothless up front. Like it never looked like anything was going to really happen. Like it'd still be there now, and it'd still be 1-0 to Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, Arsenal didn't play badly. Raya had one of the best games you'll ever see from him, and is looking like he's well deserved to get that Golden Glove. But if we had Isak, I think we would have put one of those chances away in the first half, and it would have been a different game. But come here, it is what it is. You don't take your chances. Arsenal did take their chance, and they were very good in the second half. Arsenal, I thought we were a bit lackluster and a bit slow in the second half, which kind of led to our own downfall. But come here, these things happen.
Yeah, I think like Callum Wilson, like, I mean, the only down part of being in the bleaker with the lads and having the crack was that when we heard Isak wasn't even on the bench, there was a bit of a rumble there. It was like, hang on a second here. Wilson comes in. He actually played well, God bless him. I've never seen him run that fast, probably for a year and a half. He was really getting about himself and trying to get stuck in, which I'm happy to see. But it was just a case that if Harvey Barnes could like hit the ball with his right or left foot as he could with his right foot, I think we would have been 2-0 up. And there's been a couple of games where he's tried to hit it with his left foot. It's been very weak and poor. But
Ray was good though. First half, Ray was fantastic.
No, he was he definitely was. But like Al said, we had the whole thing about this season has always been 3 things: we either create chances and take them, create chances and don't take them, or don't create chances. I know I'm simplifying football very, very clear there, but it's just a case with Newcastle. When we get draws or we get these 1-0 losses or whatever, it's always the case, which I'm very positive about. At least we're creating the chances. We're just not taking them. So we need better attack.
That is the most Mike Alone stat I've ever heard in my life. If you score a goal, you're 1-0 up.
Don't you dare bring it. Don't you dare bring his name into it. Don't you ever bring his name into it. God damn it. But no, I just mean like they're the 3 types of performances of Newcastle this season. And we haven't had a not create chances game in quite a long time, which is good. So I'm happy that we're still creating chances. If we just get 2 or 3 higher quality attacking players, we could be smashing teams to pieces.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. Tev, what were your inputs on the game? What did you think of it?
I thought, so first half we had a lot of opportunities. We should have taken them, and then second half it just slowed down. And obviously with the goal, Declan Rice's goal was a screamer. Can't say anything about it. But if you think about it now, we played Arsenal 4 times this season. We've conceded 1 goal. We've lost 1. We've won 3. A few years ago, myself and Al, we got to kind of watch that Arsenal game where we were absolutely battered, where Joe Willock came on and scored. But if you think about that performance and the performance this year, like, it's night and day in terms of what we're going to teams that we're meant to lose or meant to struggle, and we're coming out and kind of saying we should have won. So it's a mentality change. But again, I do agree that doesn't put points on the board, and I think we need to be more clinical. But it shows you that, again, we don't need to fear these kind of away games. Like, we should have scored first half. Like, I think Tino got in through, and he the ball kind of dribbled into Raya's hand. There was a few of them opportunities where we could have scored. So in hindsight, yes, it's frustrating, but like, we've seen days where we've gone there. I remember the Theo Walcott performance when he scored 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 4 goals in about 20 minutes.
So I take it with a pinch of salt. But look, it's disappointing, but it's all on Sunday.
Look, the most disappointing thing about all of it, right, Al, the most disappointing thing about it all, right, and I know we're going to get into this. We probably will in a little bit, right, but I think a lot of our listeners and the Irish Mags will agree that Anthony Gordon has not been playing well. And a lot of reports flowing around like about him trying to force a move, or he just looks. No, I know he's not, right, but I'm just saying it because it's been reported, right. But he didn't look good. He didn't look right against Arsenal. He looked like he couldn't barely tie his shoelaces. He was all over the shop. He didn't know which way he was going, and he was giving the ball away. He looked like he was frustrated and lacked focus. And I thought, oh no, this is not the Gordon we need, because when he's on it, God help us, you can't stop the guy. But just on a big game like that, he just wasn't at the races again. Now maybe he's not fit, I don't know, but he doesn't seem mentally there.
Just remember, right? The lad has missed a cup final, suspended for 3 games, then went through a fairly bad hip injury and then a calf injury, and has only started the last 2 games in a row. You can't really be expecting him to be 100% Anthony Gordon that we seen 18 months ago, where he was running amok for us and you're going, what's going on here? You have to kind of give him a bit of benefit. So I think the head loss that we've seen online by some Newcastle fans saying cash in for 70 million, that's absolutely mental.
It's mad.
Absolutely mental. If Liverpool are getting 80 million for Diaz and they're thinking they're going to come in and replace Diaz with Gordon for the same money, they'd want their heads examined. So that the head loss of we need to get him sold, I don't think so. He had a couple of bad games. He'll come back into himself. He's only a young kid. He's only 22, I think 22 or 23. Like he has a massive future for us, and anyone thinking of letting Gordon go, it's just bonkers in my eyes. I don't know why you'd want them to. Who would you replace him with? Like, you need 2 players in every position nowadays to have any chance. I just don't get the head loss myself.
Right.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah, you have to think as well in terms of sometimes players make other players. So like Gordon before the injury, etc., like a few months ago was used to playing 4-3-3, and he was used to playing with maybe Joe Linton on the left, and then also he was used to playing with Hall on the left back as well. So we played a 5-2-3, did we, with Bruno and Tonali in the middle. Where you're playing Livramento on the left, who's a right back, and also you're playing a Gordon who hasn't started properly a full game and fully fit. So look, it's horses for courses, but like it was a different setup. It was probably a different system, and as well, Isak wasn't there. Like Isak probably playing alone shifts the defense back about 5 or 6, like 5 to 10 yards. With Wilson, you can play on the halfway line.
It creates space for Gordon as well that wouldn't have been there. So that's the other aspect of it. Like they knew, like Arsenal knew they could leave one back with Wilson and be fairly comfortable. Saliba beside Wilson, he's gonna be all right. Whereas if it had been Isak, it would have been Saliba and Kiwar or whatever his name is, would have had to mark him for the whole time, and it would have been 1v1 for Gordon. So you're 100% right there, Tev. It would have been a massive, massive boost for Arsenal to not see Isak on that pitch. in the help against Gordon. So yeah, the
and
headloss is a bit mad.
And they only bet us 1-0. I mean, we could have been, like you said, 2-0 up at half time. You know, they did create a couple of chances, but they didn't create that many bloody chances. So
I like bar the save from, I don't know who got the header. I think it was Martinelli might have got the header in the first half with a bit of a reaction save from Pope. They didn't create any clear cut chances. Now, we didn't create too many clear cut chances either, but it was horses for courses, as Tev said. They took their chance. And to be fair, Declan Rice, it was a smashing finish. As much as I hate to say it, was a cracker of a finish. Pope wasn't getting near. You can't blame anyone losing the ball, but he's won enough free kicks. He's gotten away from that position enough times to warrant it happening once a season, where you go, it was bound to happen. It just happened to happen at a very, very unfortunate time for us. And Rice was there to absolutely sweep that home, and it was a cracker of a finish, as I said.
Yeah. Well,
it could be worse. It could have been worse.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Lads, we're still going into the last game of the season where we're talking about Champions League football.
Yeah.
We're talking about a team that have won a cup. This is the best season any of us have ever seen before, and we're nearly disappointed we're after losing 1-0 away to the team that are going to finish second in the league.
Yeah.
That's a cracker season. That's a cracking season.
You're right.
100%.
So,
it is.
Moving on from the disappointing result, but not too bad of a performance from Arsenal. We had a bit of a fun day in the Bleakers this week, didn't we? So
yeah, we
usually
did.
Asked about this, but I'm going to ask you about it now, so I can have a bit of time off.
Look at him. It was fantastic. So we had our end of season party in the Bleaker. So just for context, I think that was probably our 66th or 67th meetup that we've had this year. So that's all across Ireland. So that's Irish Newcastle United fans. That's Geordies coming together, etc. in Cork, Galway, in Dublin, in Sligo, in Mayo, etc. Just kind of watching the game as a community. So I think it's a fantastic thing we have. I think we're going strength from strength. Obviously, now we're official. That will only increase and go further. But I thought the end of the season was great. You had people from all generations, all backgrounds. You had kids there as well. It was just a nice day. We also had a quiz and raffle. I don't know if you've seen the photos. You probably see them if you're watching the video. But we also, we had a load of jerseys on the raffle. We had the quiz that Chris Show did horribly on. It was just a fantastic day. I think everybody was in good spirits, and I know we're talking about the Arsenal game and losing, but you wouldn't have thought we lost that day. People were still in good spirits. It was a fantastic day.
Yeah,
we have to give a special shout out to Derek for winning the quiz, for Ollie for being an absolute encyclopedia of Newcastle knowledge at 10 years of age.
Yeah,
Ollie was the star of the show, I have to say. Absolutely pulled it out of the bag. He dragged his dad to a second place finish. That's Ollie, if you're listening, fair play to you. You are unbelievable. And then we obviously had the raffle as well. Everything went well. So it was a good old day.
I'll say it. Well played, Al, for organising all the bits and bobs. You've done a fantastic job. And you're always zooming about the bloody place. I'm just glad that you're able to get a chance to stop once in a while and get a pint of cider or a can of cider, as we saw. But
there's still a green hat.
shout out from all the Irish mags about how much work you do when these events are on, because it's very good.
Very much. I do all the work that makes it look like I do loads of work, when it's actually the Tev does most of the work, though, to be fair to him. So special shout out to Tev as well.
Tev, you legend. You legend.
We also need to say a special thank you to Johnny for putting on the food, which 100%. I didn't get any of because I was too busy. See, everyone said it was lovely because there was empty plates when I went back up, and I was like, great. So that was enjoyable. Johnny, thank you very much, as always.
Thank you so much.
Days in the Bleaker are always a cracker, and we couldn't have it without you. So thanks very much.
100%.
So, moving on, there is a small fixture on this weekend that I believe a couple of us on here are going to, myself included. So we have Everton the weekend. How are we feeling, Tev? How do you think this is going to go?
Yes, I think we're all nervous, but if you think about it now, on a good day, on a normal day, St. James's Park is rocking with 52,000. If you're telling me last game of the season, if we win, we get Champions League, war flags, the whole lot. You know yourself, 4 p.m. Everybody gets it. Like, it's not 12 p.m. Everybody will be out for the day. Everybody will be in gangs. We have to win. And I know we're going to win, but we have to win. You know, like, I know there's like loads of stuff on Opta in terms of if we draw and Chelsea and No, it starts with us. If we win on Everton, we're in the Champions League, and that's the way we need to look at. So again, you might see a few surprises in that team sheet on Sunday. I don't know, like, you don't know. There's a few players that have been told that they're away. One last dance before the end of the season. You never know. You know, Big Joe, get the injections.
Let's hope not.
Chris, what think? Are you nervous? Are you worrying?
I look at the one thing that's wonderful about this, and Tev just touched on it there, is that, and I know Eddie Howe will have the lads focusing on this. Let's not worry about anything else that happens, because it's all on at the same time. They certainly won't be listening in on the radio. Maybe the fans will, but they won't give a shite, because it's just, we win, we get through to Champions League. Full stop. Don't forget about. So, like you said, at the end of the season, final game, St James's Park. Now, don't get me wrong. If it was at Goodison Park and the last game at Goodison Park, I'd be a little bit concerned. I really would.
I think everybody would be concerned.
Yeah, it's at St James's Park, and Everton have had their boo-hoo goodbye Goodison, and they're all emotionally tired. Decore's out of there. We're getting their striker on loan for free in the summer, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So look, there'll be a nice couple of shaking hands. He'll get he'll get a chance to look around before he joins us on the 1st of July, which I don't want, but it's going to happen. And we're going to win. I think we're going to win 4-0. I think Harvey Barnes is going to get trashed. I think we're trashing. It'll just be a very, very beautiful celebration, and you both are very lucky to be there. So, damn. But I'll be looking after the Bleecker Street with Sean Bowles. Yeah. No
what a Joe.
Good luck, Bleecker Street.
Come on down, lads. No problem. Easy peasy, Al. Easy peasy. All day, lemon squeezy.
I am tending to agree with you. I don't think it's going to be easy peasy by any stretch of the imagination. But what I do think we're going to see is St James's Park pulling that ball into the Everton net. Yeah. I think it's going to be an absolute cauldron. Yeah. The city itself will be on wheels. Everton, I'm hoping, will be on the beach. From the couple of Everton fans that I've spoken to, they're going, our last hurrah was last weekend. The lads are on the beach. It's over. Like, they're expecting, like, Everton supposedly have 2 fit centre backs in Jake O'Brien and Michael Keane. And as much as I hate saying it, that bodes very well for us, because Michael Keane can tend to have a bit of a calamity against us. They also lost Seamus Coleman, their young right back, because they've got Ashley Young, the 54-year-old, playing right back for them now, supposedly.
That's his last game as well.
Exactly. So it's looking like everything could go well. And as Tev touched on, I think we're going to see a certain Alexander Isak starting. We're going to see a certain Joe Linton start as well. I think we were kind of teased with the fact that he might be able to play one game. And I reckon Eddie would have said, look, if it comes down to the wire, we'll fill you full of injections and you can run around that pitch for an hour and get us 3 or 4-0 up, and then we'll pull you off and we can send you back to Brazil on your holiday for 2 months and you can come back to us in pre-season.
Yeah.
I'm
10 kg overweight.
Clear. He's at like Bruno last year and he's 15.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be 5 or 6-0 winners. I do think we'll get the win. I think it'll be 3-0, but I think it'll be one of these games where we'll score early. We'll score after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be cagey. We'll be on the ball an awful lot. We'll be struggling to break them down. We'll get a second goal, start of the second half, and then with 5-10 minutes to go, Will Asula's getting a goal. And that's how it's going to end, I think. But it's the nerves are certainly kicking in, and it's horrible. I always think I'm coming out of the old Newcastle, where I'm like, I've seen this film, everything's going well, so obviously everything has to go wrong. But we've changed. We're not that team anymore. We won a cup. We're different.
We don't have to wait until Jonas Gutierrez goes down the left wing and scores his second goal against West Ham to beat relegation. Now we're going to go and comfortably watch on a Sunday afternoon on a blazing hot day, hopefully, and watch our team get third maybe fourth after Man City, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
But look, check it out, top four, a cup. I mean, talk about party time on Sunday. Party time.
Absolutely. And just as we did touch on, it's in our hands.
Yeah.
4 o'clock Sunday or half 4. Is it half 4? 4 o'clock Sunday kickoff?
That's 4 o'clock.
But it's 4 o'clock. Yeah. All we have to do is go out and win. After that, nothing else matters. I can't see Villa winning 17-0 to have the goal difference warrant anything. So I go out and win, and we are going to the Champions League next year. And Eddie will have that ingrained in their head. He's done absolutely everything to get to this point. At the start of the season, our aim would have been to win a cup or get Champions League. And now we're looking at doing both of them. So Eddie Howe will just be turning around to them and being like, this is exactly what we wanted. This is what we've been aiming for from day one. And now we finally have the opportunity to do it. There's no bigger goal for us. And I think the motivation alone would get us over the line, I hope.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Stadium is going to be a cauldron. The stadium is going to be electric. And I think it actually helps for the people, like the lads going over, because again, the only time we'll hear about the other scores, especially in the stadium, is at half time when you say, and the scores from the other fixtures. Like, I'll be I won't be checking my phone in the stadium. Like, I'll be you know yourself. So
doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
But like prediction wise, then Al, you're 3-0. Tev, you're
3-0.
3-0. And I'm gonna go 4-0 because Barnes is gonna get 2, Isaac, and then Joe Linton, if he plays, is gonna get a header. He's gonna put us up after 10 minutes 1-0. So it's gonna be 4-0. It's gonna be easy peasy. No, maybe you know what? Scrap the 2 goals from Barnes. Maybe a goal from Miley. It's a nice, delicious goal. The last goal of the season will be scored by Miley.
Okay. Tev, just before we let everyone have a break from us rambling and talking utter crap for the last half an hour, we have a few things happening in Newcastle this weekend, don't we? Would we like to give the listeners one last little run through what we're doing?
Yeah, so as I said, we had a few things kind of planned for the Irish Mags for the past few weeks. So again, you know yourself, Irish Mags, we do big style. So we've had the Galway meetup followed by the end of season in Ireland, but we also have our Irish Mags Fun Day in Newcastle. So for the people traveling over on the Saturday, we have a full day activities planned. So in terms of midday, we are helping War Flag set up in terms of everything. So we'll have a sneak preview of what's going to be in terms of with the flag surfers for the Sunday. So that'll be fantastic. And that's a nice way to kind of say thank you for all Irish Mags that are kind of been helping us. So anybody that's over, we've kind of been in contact. Again, we want them to come over. So again, we'll be helping War Flags, etc. During 4 to 6, we're going to have our first annual official, I'm not official there as well, Irish Mags Charity Cup. So basically, we are looking to support charities more. So this year, we'll be having a 6-a-side cup along with War Flags and then also the Irish Tyneside Centre, whereby we're raising money. And again, there's still opportunities to kind of donate. So we have a goal of 1,500 and above if we get to that goal. But we're looking to support Irish Cancer Society and Newcastle Foundation. So we're nearly around 1,304. We're nearly at the goal already and trying to push for 2K. But it'd be really good for us to kind of give a nice donation to the foundation, Irish Cancer Society. So again, another opportunity to kind of give Irish Mags the opportunity to play in the foundation, make a few friends, have a bit of crack, and again be a part of, engage with a community. So again, our community is not just in terms of what we do on social media. We also have the WhatsApp. We also have obviously the podcast. But it's nice to say that we actually have active things that we regularly put on. So yeah, as I said, everybody's involved. Al has the 5-a-side as well, but this is just another connection that we have to the Irish Mag. So yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. And then the evening, the only way I can put it to you, we're having a gathering.
A
gather at the night time where it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of community.
just for anyone flying over, there's lads flying over on. Well, I'm flying over Friday morning. I'm making a proper weekend of it because
the posh flight.
The posh flight. It's my birthday weekend. I'm going on the rip. Let's be honest about it. So yeah, there's literally lads flying on every single flight out of the Republic and the north of Ireland into Newcastle. So if you're in any airport heading to Newcastle and you think you might look like an Irish mag is with you, they probably are. Just go talk to them. That's how this whole thing started, getting into a room and talking with other Newcastle fans, and that's exactly what we want everyone to do. So if you're in and around Newcastle, come on and annoy us, and we'll annoy you for a couple of days. And if anyone's around on a Friday for a couple of drinks, hit me up. I'll be out for anything. I'll be up for anything.
Yes, you are.
So that seems to bring us to a nice end to our podcast, where we had Paul given a day off, but I didn't think we did too badly, did we, lads?
No, I don't think so. I think you did very well. Yeah, very good, Al.
Thanks very much.
Very good. Well done.
Well done, Al. Go. Hang on, though.
Oh.
Can we talk about getting rid of Joe Willock? No.
No. And see you next year.
See you next year, everybody.
And on that bombshell, we will say strong to fall. Thank you very much for listening, and say goodbye, lads.
Slán